Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. We shall start pretty soon with our second Wednesday, with our second seminar. So let's give it a couple of minutes and then short introduction and let's jump into the topic. So we can see more and more people joining. That's perfect. So welcome again. Give it one more minute. And then we shall start with the second Wednesday, second seminar of the ICF Development Coaches series. So perfect. It's 7:01, so I think we can slowly start, at least with the introduction of this evening seminar. There will be definitely some more people joining us during the first 5-10 minutes. So at least for my speaking, it's not so important that everyone is listening. So good evening, everyone, and welcome back. And also welcome to those of who are joining us for the first time. It's great to see such an interest in whitewater canoeing coaching and developing our sport through the education and shared experience. For those who don't know me, my name is Alexandra Nováková, and I'm a Czech canoeist and coach and a member of the ICF Whitewater Technical Committee. As the Wildwater Canoeing Committee, we strongly believe in supporting the development of coaches. Educated and passionate coaches are definitely the foundation of long-term athlete development and the whole future of whitewater canoeing. This January webinar series is designed to support both new coaches and experienced coaches who want to keep learning and improving. Just a short reminder about the format. Each webinar features 2 speakers, each with around 20 minutes for their presentation, followed by 10 minutes for discussion. And you are all very welcome to write your questions, comments in the chat at any time. I will go through them during the discussion, so there is no pressure for you to speak up. You can just really write your comments, questions during their presentation, no problem. And please also try to fill the Google form, which is in the chat. Manuela Gaven will send it one more time, definitely. I will try to remind you this Google form during each discussion, because thanks to this Google form, we can send you the ICF certificate of participation after all our 4 webinar. So today's topic is the Wildwater Canoeing physiotherapists, an area that is absolutely essential for performance, injury prevention, and a long-term athlete development. Our first speaker will be Clémence Castaigne from Team Belgium. Clémence is a former Wildwater peddler and competitor, and she is now working as a physiotherapist with the Belgium team. I'll just mute it over here. Perfect. Clémence will speak about the role of physiotherapist in Team Belgium during the main races of the season. Our second speaker will be Adéla Fialová from the Czech team. Adéla has been working with the team for more than 10 years, accompanying juniors, under-23 and senior athletes to the training camps and international races. She will speak about how the role of physiotherapists in whitewater canoeing has changed over the past 10 years and what the current trends are. So, no more speaking from my side. We are happy, really happy to have both of them with us today. So let's try the first presentation with Clémence Castaigne. And I will share my screen this time for Clémence's presentation. So Clémence, you can start on.
Okay, I don't see my presentation on the screen.
Okay, is it visible or not?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes. Okay, so hey everyone, I am Clémence Castaigne, the Belgium kayak team's physio. I started kayaking with Leo Montulet and Laurent Sinesal when we were about 14 years old. I'm really glad to be the physio of my childhood friends. At the start, it was just for them, and after, the federation allowed me to go with the whole team. For me, it was a really huge day because I could be a part of the team with my friends and with some kids that I trained years ago. You can change the slide.
Yep, I'm on the second.
Okay, I don't see it. In Belgium, the kayak teams work with a very small support staff. Most of the time during competition, and myself as the physiotherapist, sometimes with one additional person. Because of this limited staff, my role goes far beyond traditional physiotherapy. I support the athletes physically, mentally, and practically, and I help ensure the smooth functioning of the team. This means that I am always very close to the athletes, not only during treatments, but all day long. Okay, next slide. Our head coach is Maxime Richard. He's a well-known and highly respected figure in the kayaking world. His experience and structure approach make collaboration very efficient. He is responsible for training sessions and schedules, which allow me to fully focus on the athlete's physical and mental readiness. Okay, next slide. During competitions, my main mission is to keep the athletes physically able to perform at their best. I stay close to them, observe their behavior and movement, listen to their concern, and react quickly. Most of my work focuses on preventing small physical issues from developing into serious injuries. Okay, next slide. I manage minor pains, muscle stiffness, and physical discomfort that naturally occur during competitions. This includes manual therapy for relaxation and mobility, taping or strapping when needed, and short recovery intervention between races. Maintaining shoulder mobility and thoracic rotation is particularly important in kayaking. Okay, next slide. An important part of my role is mental and emotional support. Because physiotherapy involves hands-on contact, athletes often feel comfortable sharing stress, doubts, or fear with me. I help reassure them about pain, manage pre-race anxiety, and provide a calm and grounding presence. While I am not a psychologist, I am often the first emotional support during high-pressure moments. Sometimes, athletes just need someone to listen, especially before an important race. Next slide.
Fair enough.
Due to the small size of the staff, I also contribute to the logistical task. I help with transport, equipment, and organization, and I often act as a driver together with the coach. This polyvalent role requires adaptability. Being involved in logistics also helps me understand the athlete's fatigue level and allows me to observe athletes outside training. Next slide. Communication with the coach is constant and essential. I regularly share information about athletes' fatigue, pain, stress level, or need for recovery. Based on this exchange, the coach can adapt training or warm-ups when necessary. This prevents overload and keeps athletes fresh. Okay, next slide. Outside the competition seasons, the athletes are often spread across the countries for training, study, or work. I am therefore less physically present, but I remain fully available whenever athletes need advice or support. I work with the federation and attend training camps or preparation weekends when requested. I am also present at all Belgium races, which allow regular follow-up through the year. Next slide. Through collaboration with several hospitals, athletes have access to specialized medical tests, such as imaging or functional assessments. I receive the report from this examination, which allow me to monitor progress, anticipate potential issues, and communicate relevant information to the coach. This ensures continuity of care even when athletes train abroad. Last slide. In conclusion, the physiotherapist in Belgium kayak team plays a central and multifaceted role. I am not only responsible for injury care, but also for physical readiness, mental support, logistics, and communication. Whether during competition or outside the seasons, my goal is to keep athletes healthy, confident, and ready to perform. Thank you.
Perfection. Thank you so much, Clémence. Thank you. I hope that no one had big issues with seeing the presentation, because I just found out that maybe some of you who doesn't have the application or who are not using the correct application, maybe you didn't see the whole presentation. But anyway, that reminds me that we are recording all of those presentations and we are publishing it on the ICF website. So definitely, if someone has the same issue, no worries. This presentation will be published on the ICF website. So the first discussion, don't hesitate to write your questions, your comments in the chat. And I will again take the advantage to ask Clémence the first question. Clémence, you as a physiotherapist, be honest, are you working for the Team Belgium for free, or is it a paid job for you?
Working for free, so they just I just don't pay the hotel or the food, but I'm not paid to be there.
Okay. Thank you. We have a first question from the chat. What is the most common problem you find with wildwater athletes? From Jamie Christie.
Okay, it's the shoulder. They often have some pain on the shoulder. During the competition, it's always really hard to know really what I need to do, because sometimes we do some things and it's worse than before. So we need to be not too much on the treatment, but just do some massage just to calm the pain, but not go too much on the treatment. I have also some problem with mobility in the shoulder because they don't do the exercise often. But yes, it's really often shoulder.
That's perfect for the continuing question. If you are also creating a conditioning and strength program, exactly when we are talking about shoulders, if you are like somehow helping your athletes or preparing your team with some compensation and yes, conditioning.
For that, Maxime do all the work. He told the athlete what to do before I came, so I don't really need to do for the Belgian team. But it's some things I can do if someone asks me for.
And there is a continuing. If yes, then how does it look 4 or 5 weeks right before the competition? So if you are not doing it, but if you would be doing it, some kind of a program, would you recommend your athletes to do some like a ritual before training, after the training, before the race, after the race, or something like this?
I will for sure tell the athlete to do some warm-up with elastic outside the water, and yes, do some mobility exercise. But I will said do you not I forget the word in English. You need to do mobility, but you don't maybe not during just after the training. So I will wait 2 hours after the training to do some wheelie mobility and go on the top mobilization.
And question from my side. For example, now when the athletes are not racing during the winter time, do you recommend some different sports, some different movements for the athletes to be doing for helping for prevention of any kind of shoulder issues?
Yeah, it's the same answer. I will do some mobility and some strength with elastics to prevent some issue, and I will work with if the mobility isn't really good in all the amplitude, I will do in those amplitude, so they will have less problem after. But I will ask the athlete, like if he have some pain, I want the scale of the pain, so we don't go too far on the pain when we do some mobility or exercise in strength. And yes, I will always work the shoulders and the open shoulder, because in kayaking we are often not open and it's not really good.
Another question from Jimmy Christie. Do you see different problems between male and female athletes?
Honestly, no, but I think I don't work for so much here with the kayak team. So I think I may see during the year, but for now I don't have enough experience.
Yeah, definitely. No worries. Maybe this question will be exactly for Adéla Fialová during the next discussion. But since we have you here still, I have to ask you one more thing. Do you think that it will be possible for the Belgium team to find some kind of like resources to take you also for the training camps and not just like competitions and races?
I don't know, because in Belgium, kayaking is not like for everyone, but not Olympic sports. So we don't have much money from the adepts. So I don't think so. But if they do, I will be pleased to go.
Nice. And right now, if the athletes from the Belgium team are having some, some kind of problems, even right now during the winter, can they like contact you, call you, or write you, tell to you their issues, and you can help them by, I don't know, sending some videos or something?
Yes, or I try to. It's not always possible, but if I can do some things, I will do it. And for Leo, he lives next to me, so it's easy. I can go and solve the problem with him. But if some other athletes ask me, I will do without any problems.
Perfect. Jamie Christie is asking if you have some mobility exercises that you could share after about shoulder mobility. Do you have some kind of like videos or sets or something that you can share maybe?
Yeah, I will do that after.
Super. Maybe what we can do, you can edit into your presentation on the last slide.
Yeah.
And since we will be sharing those presentations, then you can, everyone can see it publicly.
No problem.
Super. So anyone, do you have some questions? Some more questions, some more comments, or let's slowly move on the next presenter. I will give it a couple seconds for the answer. And okay, Clémence, thank you so much for the presentation. Thank you so much for all of your important income. And let's move to Adéla Fialová, the Czech canoe physiotherapist. Adéla, you are having your time now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll try to share my presentation. Please let me know if it works. Like this. How is it?
Visible, perfect.
Does it work?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start. My name is Adéla Fialová, and I'm a physio of the Czech national team in Wildwater. Season or the year 2026 is going to be my 12th season with the national team. And it all started in 2014 when I went to Valtellina. It was just 2 weeks after finishing my bachelor degree, so I had no experience in sport physiotherapy. I had no experience with the sport because I've never ever done it before. I just had some friends who did it. And one of the athletes had this idea that they could have official physiotherapist. So he asked the head coach, Robert Knebel. He agreed, and I was in Valtellina. I had no work to do, luckily. I remember I only did 3 massages, and I think they had to be really bad when I think about it back in the time. But somehow I was trusted enough that Robert, he decided to have a physio at every big race since then. So right now we have 3 physios. We are not full, or we have no full-time physio for the national team. We all have or work at the private clinics. And as we are selected for any race or any other occasion, we just come. And I think that right now we are pretty good at covering nearly all the occasions needed. So we go to World Championships, to European Championships, a few World Cups, and I think that one of my colleagues, she also covers some national races, and we also do the training camps right now. And for the juniors and the under 23, we always have 2 physiotherapists because there's just too many athletes. So from just occasional support, 1 or 2 times a year, we see the athletes pretty often. And also we are available for the whole year. So if they want to call us or text us, they have any problem, we are there for them. Also, if they want, they can come to my office or any other offices of the colleagues. And some of them, they just have their own physios because they are from all around the Czech Republic. So if I look at it back then in 2014, and when I look at it now, the biggest difference is that us physios, we are a part of the team, and the athletes got used to it. And I think they are pretty sad if we are not at any, World Cup. So from 3 massages I did at the Valtellina, I or even my colleagues usually have 5 to 8 athletes a day during the races, so we are quite busy during that time. To me, wildwater canoeing is not natural human movement. I consider the natural human movement walking, running, climbing, maybe some fight sports, but not wildwater canoeing, because our body, it evolved for a million of years into bipedal movement, and now we sit in the offices or we sit or kneel in the boats. So the less it is natural, the more compensation or the better movement we have to do to be pain-free. And I'm not saying that we should stop doing wildwater canoeing because it's bad for our health, but let's do it as good as we can. And first of all, what we should do is to have really good ergonomy of the boat, of the sitting position or the kneeling position. Also have a really good, let's say, myofascial coactivation, have a really good technique. That's what the athletes should focus as a first. Then it's the adaptation, and that's basically training. That's what they do usually. And if they have a, let's say, not really good ergonomy, if the adaptation is slow, step by step, it's usually not a problem at all. And then there is a compensation that belongs to us as physios. And it means that we want to compensate the sedentary posture and also the asymmetric load that is on the body. Because if you imagine the posture of the athlete, is like the lower body is just not move at all. It just stables the boat, it stables the body, and the upper body is the engine that's very dynamic. That's what I see, that one of the biggest problem is lower back pain, and then some shoulder pains, or let's say upper limb problems. I would say that wildwater canoeing is relatively safe. There can be some accidents like shoulder luxation or some slap lesion, but you can't do really anything about it. Just strengthen your shoulders and hope it's not going to happen to you, but sometimes it happens, that's it. But there are some, let's say, overuse injuries that can happen, and it's usually when the training progresses too fast than the adaptation of the tissue. And we can usually see it as some kind of tendinopathy or tendinitis. maybe some muscle stiffness, active trigger and tender points. And that's usually a problem with the athletes because they are quite often over-motivated and they can't see difference between the physiological pain. That's the pain that it's normal to training. It occurs, you know, sports hurts. It's okay. But when you have, for example, the tendinopathy, there's a pathological pain, and that's when they should either change something or slow down, rest, maybe take a few days or a few weeks rest, but they are so over-motivated, they don't want to stop. And then it happens that from sacrificing one or few days or weeks, they just sacrifice the whole season. So it's quite difficult for me to tell them to rest and realize that calming down and not doing, like not pushing too hard and listening to their bodies, that's the key to the success. When it comes to any injuries, that's my role, that's my time to shine. And it usually differs if it's a training camp or if it's a competition. When it's the training camp, that's when the real change happens. That's when we can focus on training, we can focus on change of the, let's say, bad habits, we can focus on those silly physio exercises that no one likes, but they are good to do. The atmosphere is usually very calm. It's easygoing. Everyone is like open to any changes, and also I can experiment a little bit more. As Clémence said, I can do quite rough manual massages, and if the problem worsens, I still have time to change it and to find another way to get them better. And it's mostly, I would call it that we work with the body, but during the competition, it's more of a little tuning, and we work more on the mindset. Also, if I do any manual therapy, I'm very gentle and I don't do any experiments at all because there's no time for that. If I, for example, if someone comes, has a pain, and I do some manual therapy that will worsen it, it happens that the athlete will not feel confident. They will feel that it's not ready for the competition, and it might affect the performance. And also, what's changed? I was really at the competitions, I wanted to do big changes, you know, and always help them as much as I could. But I realize nowadays that it's better to be really gentle and just, let's say, support the body, support the nervous system, calm it down a little bit. And it's more about the mind work than the body work. And as physios, we work a lot as a safe spot. So that's also what changed from the years before. They trust me not only in physiotherapy, but they trust me as a human being. So sometimes we don't just talk about their problems with their body, but we talk about their life, about their studies, about their problems. And sometimes it helps them even more than just doing any exercises or manual therapy. It also happens that at the competitions, they have it like a ritual before the race. So they don't really have any problem, but they just come. They either have a massage or they just chat with me about something else. So they don't focus so much on the competition. Their nervous system calms down a little bit, and they don't have such a big mental overload. Let's say the trends in physiotherapy in general are quite opposite. It's kind of a paradox. And back in the days when I studied, my professor, the head of the faculty of the physiotherapy, he said there's only one physiotherapy, and it works for all. It works for the athletes, it works for the elderly people, for the youngsters, just for everyone. But we know that in physiotherapy, there's so much knowledge. So the physiotherapy started to specialize in, for example, one part of the body, like upper body, or upper limb, shoulder, knee, or maybe in just sports, orthopedics, and so on. And then there is a holistic approach. And that's what I find, or that's what I like, that I think that physiotherapy is not enough in healing human body or human as a whole. And physiotherapy started to fuse in different disciplines like psychology, maybe coaching, osteopathy, chiropractic, even some, let's say, East medicine or any other alternatives, acupuncture. And that's where I see the future, actually, especially in sports physiotherapy. Because you can't just take the myofascial or myoskeletal system and take it out of the body, just try to work on it and then think that it's going to work. The human being is a whole system, so we need to think also about other systems like nervous system, lymphatic system, visceral system. Even athletes, they have their emotions and they hide their emotions into viscerum, into the tummy. So sometimes releasing, let's say, stomach or livers or anything, or diaphragm, it will help with their shoulder pain, for example. So I think that the modern sports physiotherapy really goes beyond the specialization. And last but not least is the inner world of the athlete. I'm sure you notice that sometimes you have athletes that they all do quite well in the training, but some of them, when it comes to racing and they are at the starting line, they kind of switch their head and they just do so well in the races. And I think that's the mindset. I think it's natural in all the winners, but maybe it can be learned. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but I would say that this is one of the most important missing parts of the puzzles, because if you have a mindset of the winner, it's much easier to work under the pressure. You get into the flow. Some athletes, they describe it like they have this tunnel vision, like they can't hear or feel anything else. They just focus on the race so well, and they are chasing this flow where everything goes just perfectly. And I think that's what is the difference between the elite athlete and between the champion and, let's say, winner. So the summary is, the biggest trend, I would say, is to have the physio, even in sports that are not so popular or financially stable. Just go out, find your physios, find someone who fits, who can also work some time from, not for just money, but for the passion. Look for a physio who is interested also in something else than just physiotherapy, maybe psychology. I think that's the future. And make them work on your athletes. So that's it.
Thank you, Adelka. Thank you so much for your nice presentation. I think that the discussion over here will be a little bit maybe longer, but but I will ask the first question again, and then I will leave off to the others. Adéla, like 10 years ago, you were working mostly with the senior peddlers, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the top races, and since then the generation change and everything. I mean, nowadays the senior peddlers, are they taking the advantage of you as they should be, or they are still a little bit shy? Because I know that the juniors are maybe not so shy, they are coming to you more often, but the senior peddlers, the old school peddlers, you know, they are maybe like, yeah, I have a shoulder pain, fuck it, it doesn't matter. Do you think that the generation change and also the approach of the physiotherapist nowadays is better?
Of course, it changed. I worked with, let's say, big names as Kamil Mruzek, and he's a terminator, you know, he feels no pain. He has a great mindset. So he never, ever, well, I did the massage in Valtellina to him, but other than that, he just does not need anything. And yeah, he did everything by himself, and the whole generation, because they had no choice, you know. And since the national team has a physiotherapist, they rely quite a lot on us. They know that we are there. They know that they can come to us. They know that we can help them, maybe. So I would say that the seniors actually use us quite a lot. And also the juniors, but usually it takes them a little bit of time to see that we are okay, that they don't need to be worried. And it takes usually 1 or 2 races to see that they can come to us and ask for help. Yeah, and the generation, it changed. I don't see it just in Wildwater, but I see it a lot in my office. Let's talk about it in general, that people who are 50 and over, they are just really strong. They don't go to psychologists, even though they should sometime. But as the generation gets younger, like 25 or less, they really are softer. They can't handle the pressure. They have these autoimmune diseases, and I have to say that nearly all of them have the psychologists they follow. So it's different and a bit similar to athletes, yeah, but yeah.
Thank you so much. So the questions from the chat. Adéla, do you have any exercises to prevent the lower back pain you mentioned?
Yes, there are.
It is coming from the K1 peddler, another Clémence from Belgium. So maybe specifically for K1, I don't know.
You always have to think, as I said, the lower body does not move at all. The upper body moves a lot. So there's a quite big pressure on the lower back pain. And also in K1, you sit in kind of a kyphosis with the external rotation of your hips. So already the position is not very good, and the movement. So it might happen that you will still have a little bit of pain. Other than that, if we think about the compensation, it's really good to focus on hip mobility, especially for the internal rotation and extension. And also just do strengthening exercises for your hips, for your gluteus, the maximus and medius, and for your hamstrings, and let's say the lower limb in general. Okay, just make the lower limbs move. Maybe, like right now, I don't have any specific exercises that I could share, but maybe I can think of something and send it to you. But if you think about this as a general, it will help you. Was it a good answer, or do you want...
She is thanking you, so
okay.
probably yes.
Was enough.
Yes. Was enough for now. Question from Aleš Marek of a rather general nature. Is there any statistics on how many people were completely cured after a shoulder injury and continued canoeing? And how many of them stayed limited or stopped their sport at the top level for this reason?
I don't have these numbers. I'm thinking who had the shoulder surgery usually was a shoulder luxation, and there were some who got back, but I don't think they really did compete that well and got to the podium at the individual level. I don't think there was any, actually, but maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember. No.
And there is a continuing, what procedure has proven successful for returning to sport, including the time horizon? Well,
what do you mean? Did not really understand this one.
well, when there is a something with the shoulder, I don't know, the fluxation or anything like this, if there is some kind of like proven way how to put it all back and start competing again. But I mean,
You know, I used to be very evidence-based focused, and I'm not anymore. Because the evidence-based method is all just measuring, but this is not real life. In real life, you have emotions. As I said, in real life, you need to consider, for example, tension in a muscle or in fascia or anywhere. It can't be measured at all. So then you don't have many methods or approaches that could like answer this question. But in general, what I would say with any injury, the most important thing is the mindset and staying calm. That's the hardest part. And then trusting the process of the physio or doctor or any other specialist. And also just how to say it, be responsible for yourself and take your time. That's it. So, for example, if you're after the, let's say, slap lesion surgery of the shoulder, it doesn't, like, take your time. You know how long it's going to take. It's going to be weeks. It's going to be months to recover fully. And just stay focused with this and do a little step by step, do the adaptation, do the ergonomy of the movement, focus on the other parts of the body that will affect the shoulder, and it will have to pay off actually. But I don't have any like studies. I don't really follow the studies anymore actually.
Because I personally know some of my friends who had some like shoulder surgeries and stuff, but it wasn't like, for example, it was after some minor issues, like some biceps connections or something, not like popping out completely, tearing apart the tendons and stuff. So
yes, like usually, I search a subluxation. I hope I won't see any luxation at the race. I saw the post luxation shoulders, but it really is about the person, about the mindset, and what the tissue can take in. And also it differs if it happens to someone who is, let's say, 26, 27 years old. It takes them another year to recover. In Czech, they usually decide to go to work, for example, and quit. So I don't see if they really quit because of the shoulder or because it was the time to, let it for the younger ones.
Let's move to another question. Jimmy Christie, do you see differences between C1 and K1 peddlers?
Yes.
Easy answer, yes.
Yes. If you think about the position in C1, C2, there can be also the knee problems. I've seen chondropathia, chondromalacia in the lateral movement of the patella. So let's say overuse of the knees. You can't, or I've never ever seen it in kayakers. And also there is the way the C1, C2, they have this lateral asymmetry, and I've seen some scoliotic postures happening there. And also there are more disbalances around the shoulder blades in a C1, C2. And kayakers, thank God, it's more symmetrical, but they have a bigger problem with with the sedentary position because they are more in a kyphotic of the lumbar spine. So there's let's say there can be prevalence for herniated disc, but I've seen just one. That is not natural, of course. There's a big pressure on the discs, bigger than in C1, C2.
Just a little comment from Julia Formenton about the previous question. Coming back from major shoulder surgery, it is possible. It takes a lot of time and patience, but it is possible. So
Good.
Julia Formenton, ladies and gentlemen, one of those examples that you can come back.
Well,
another, yeah.
Wait, I think that everyone saw Lindsay Vonn. She has a total knee replacement. She's, let's say, old, and she did it. Get
True
inspired.
Stuff. True stuff. Another point from Dr. Isha Joshi. In elite kayaking, we often see shoulder pain where the real issue is poor force transfer from the trunk to the pedal rather than the shoulder itself. How do you clinically differentiate between true shoulder pathology and kinetic chain failure during the movement, during the assessment?
If I understood it right, was it the question how I do the examination, if it's the shoulder pain or if it's the
wrong
kinematic,
technique?
if it comes from somewhere else? Is it right?
I think yeah. Wrong technique somewhere else. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I really like, I like to examine in supine position when the body is fully relaxed, because athletes or people who do sports, they can fake a lot of things when holding the posture. It's unconscious, of course, but they can fake it. So I really like to do it usually on the back, lying on the back. And it's from the osteopathic approach. It's called the examination of listening the tissue. And osteopaths say, and it works actually for me, that the body, it hacks lesion. So when you have any lesion, any, let's say, restriction in the tissue, the body kind of hug it, and there's a bigger tension of the fascia or muscles to that lesion. So what I really do, actually, I just put my hand on the body and just follow the tension and see where is the restriction. So this is one. And if I want to see if it's just shoulder, I just do specific tests for the shoulder, or some, I have some dynamic tests to see how it works all together. Could it be like this? I use these two, specific tests and listening of the tissue.
Perfect. Definitely, if you would like to join the discussion, you can just come up and talk, Dr. Isha Joshi. You are welcome. If not, we are moving to or yes, I see that.
Yeah, hi.
You're hi.
Hello.
Thank you for the explanation. That's what I was looking for, because as you rightly said, the athletes can really fake a lot of things when they're in the posture of what they're training for. So yes, looking for fascia was one thing that I personally do. So I was just looking for something that, because very many times we find this flaw where we are thinking that it's basically a shoulder complication, but it is not. It's coming from the kinetic chain. So thank you so much. It was lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Another question: are most of the problems soft tissue? From Jamie Christie.
In juniors and under 23, yes. In seniors, like 90%, 80-90%, yes. Let's call it soft tissue, and I consider soft tissue also the viscera, also the lymphatic system, and so on. Okay, so the problem is with the function, not with the structure, if I can answer it like this.
I hope yes. If not, Jamie definitely will write something.
Okay.
Thank you. From Victoria Schultzova, from a health and physiotherapy perspective, how do you assess the C1 discipline in terms of the musculoskeletal load and unilateral stress and injury prevention?
Did not really get this one, sorry.
I think that she meant like really like a prevention in a specifically for C1, as it is like focused more on one side, then focused more on the other side, but it's not that.
Yeah, could be just you can do asymmetrical load. For example, when you do some specific exercises, like in rotations or exercises that will how to say it, they will look like pedaling. Just you can do it on both sides. You can do asymmetric countings. Maybe for one side you do 8 repetitions, on the other side you add 2 or 3 more. You can do some stretches, of course, and try to do a different sport as a compensation. For example, you can go swimming. Could be.
Perfect.
But there should be what I see in I like K1 a bit more because of the symmetry. The C1 there's a really quite big load in the asymmetry, and you really can see it in the posture. And after years, when I saw, for example, the older athletes, there really was a scoliotic. It wasn't just a posture, but there was this scoliotic curvature. It was done by years of paddling. But luckily, we have to see the difference that usually people who have scoliosis, they are afraid to move. Those are the people I see in the office, and they have problems. But those athletes, because they have really good muscles, the strength of the muscles, they might not have the problems in the future. Also, what I would like to say, if you have any pain or have any problem, this is not just about the perfect posture. It's again about the mindset. It's about the acceptance of the pain. It's about the way you look at the world and everything. It's not that easy. Well, I don't find it that easy as I thought it was after finishing the school.
Thank you for this answer. There is another one. What has been your most memorable moment working with the canoe athletes, and how much do athletes rely on the physio versus the coach's intervention?
Okay. I'm thinking which one. I have one that was really on the edge of doing the physio. I don't really know if I can share it. But I tried. I hope everyone forgot. So it happened that at one race, I don't remember it was seniors or juniors. There was one guy, he got the knee pain, and there was a meniscus rupture. But as I said, athletes are overmotivated, and he said that he wants to compete. It was a C1 peddler. And but if you imagine the position, it's a kneeling position. So there is a really, really big pressure on the meniscus. So we had to think of how to make him comfortable enough to finish the race. So they changed the sittings, they put it a bit higher. He also went to see the doctor. They helped him with some painkillers. We iced the knee. I did the kinesiotaping, even though I knew it's not going to work because there's, the kinesiotape does nothing in this situation. It was funny. He got the how to say it, berle.
The
Well, just let me Google it.
The helping sticks, let's say, under your hands, under your arms.
The crutches. He got the crutches.
Mhm.
So now imagine the situation. There was a ball that there were few of us with a guy. We just kind of put him in the boat, hoping that he can survive. And he just paddled down. I think he won, or he was at the podium at least. And yeah, when he finished, we just took him off, put the crunches back, ice to the knee. And as I said, he did really well. And then there was an after party. And, I saw him with all the crutches dancing like he had no pain. And I still find it really funny at that point. And there was one other story. This was at the Worlds in České Budějovice, and that was I did some massage. We did a little chat with one of the male athlete, and then he said that he needs to shape his brows. I was like, I'm very caring, so I said, "Oh, can I do it for you?" So imagine the situation: him lying on the massage table and me shaping his brows so he can look good on the podium. Oh yeah, beer is the best painkiller. That's true. That's true. Yeah, but we can't use the beer when they are racing.
That's definitely memorable.
Yeah, it was. Maybe it doesn't sound funny like that, but it was by the time.
And the other part of that question was, how much do athletes rely on the physio versus coach's intervention? In Czech canoe team, it's definitely different than because we are used to have the physiotherapists, right?
Yes. I think they rely on us quite a lot. As I said, they are used to as they know that when they finish the race that they can come and we will do the work for them. Sometimes even before the race, they are saying, "Oh, I'm coming in the evening. Please just hold the spot for me." And also, I think it's a bit different because we have 2 physios. We are women, the females, and other coaches are men. And I don't like. We are more emotional. We are more for them. We are no judging, so they can tell us a lot about the races or anything else that they can't tell really the coaches. But of course, when it comes to the race, I can't tell them anything. Like I don't know anything about Wildwater at all, if you know what I mean.
One of the last question over here. You mentioned acupuncture and the other treatments. Could you elaborate?
Elaborate. Well, again, if we think, let's say, for example, the kayak. If we think about the sedentary position, there can be restriction in lymphatic system because of the sitting position in the lower limbs. Also, if we think about the sedentary position, there is a quite big compression to the stomach, to the livers, a bit to the diaphragm, so it can't work properly as it would be during walking or running. So we can find some restriction in there just from the position. Also need to think about the emotions, and the emotions hide into our abdomen. And athletes, they are also just human beings. They get angry, they get mad, they get sad. They go through different situations in their lives, and sometimes this can cause musculoskeletal problems. And the last thing is training as an elite athlete means like pushing your body to the edge, and not just at the musculoskeletal system, but also your, let's say, liver, your kidneys. They work really hard. Your heart, your pericard, and there can be restriction in these systems as well. So sometimes if there is a shoulder pain, for example, with right shoulder, I can do any myofascial releases I can, but maybe if we just release the diaphragm or liver or do some reflexive massages of the foot, it will help much more than any myofascial releases. So this could be it.
Perfect. Adelka, thank you so much. This was Adéla Fialová from the Czech Canoe team. If anyone wants to have one last question, go ahead. In the meantime, I will just remind you gently that fill up the Google form. Manuela Gaven just sent it the QR code. Fill it up. Or you can basically go even through the link which was sent into the chat at 7:24 and fill it up for your future ICF coaches certificate. There is one more thing from Dr. Isha Joshi. We do a combination of cupping, dry needling. Yes. We get better and faster results.
I totally agree. Problem in Czech Republic is with dry needling. We are not allowed to do that officially. There is one course in Czech Republic that if you finish it, you are like allowed to do that, but there's only a few physios that can do that. And cupping it's just great. It's like cupping. I actually have to say I'm very, very interested in cupping lately, and I started experimenting with it quite a lot, especially on the thorax and on the let's say around the around the hips, the lymphatic system, and cupping is just great. But there can be some, some the how to say, those knives for fascial release. And I think that physios have the best are our hands. We can do best with that.
Perfect. So thank you so much again. This 1 hour of sharing the Wildwater Canoeing physiotherapist was mostly about the first presentation, how about to explain what is the main role in the teams of the physiotherapist. So thank you, Clémence Castaigne, for explaining all of it from the Belgium team perspective. And since Adélka Fialová works for Czech Canoe team for all over 10 years, she knows the bigger perspective. So I hope that every one of you, the future coaches or the current coaches, or maybe athletes or another physiotherapist, you learn something from this evening. Definitely this whole session is recorded and it will be published on the same link on the ICF website. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you again, Adélka, for your nice presentation and perfect discussion. And I hope we will see you guys in the season. And definitely when you will see Adélka or Clémence, you can just stop by them, tell hi, and share your experiences or your problems, issues, whatever. And we will see everyone, hopefully everyone, the next week. The next week will be about organizing the events, because we think that also as a coaches, we need to know the practicalities of organizing an event. The little event or even the top highest Wildwater World Championship, etc. We will have 2 speakers. One will be Sara Seprene from Hungary and the second will be Vladi Panato from Italy. And Sara Seprene will be talking about how to approach us or the ICF to organize such event as a World Cup. And the second speaker, Vladi Panato, He is a well-known peddler and also well-known organizer for organizing the races European level, in ICF level, on the really, really nice and wild water river Noce in Mezzana. So definitely, we will be looking forward to see you all there, and enjoy the evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Hi to all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.